So in the last lecture, we had a little conversation with ChatGPT, and we got some new images here, which look great, but which don't 100% meet my requirements, because I was asking for an owl to be included in the images that should be sitting on the Eiffel Tower. But in all 4 images, it's sitting on the duck or flying around. So ChatGPT did not really generate the images I wanted. And that can absolutely happen. Because whilst the results tend to be really good, they do sometimes come with problems like this. Now you can, of course, use techniques about which you already learned earlier in the course and, for example, ask ChatGPT if it thinks that these images, these results are in line with my prompt. Here I also then gave ChatGPT an extra hint that it's mostly the owl which is problematic for me. Now indeed, here in my case, it then understood that the problem is that the owl is not be sitting on the Eiffel Tower, where it should be sitting, and it asked me if it should attempt to basically edit those images to place the owl where it should be placed. So here I'll say yes, so that it goes ahead and generates new images. And indeed, here, that looks better to me. The owl is still in the wrong place here, and it's a bit big here and here, but at least it's on the Eiffel Tower. But here I'd say that looks pretty great. The owl is on the Eiffel Tower here. The only problem there is that now the duck is not the prominent figure on the picture. Instead, this seems to be a human accompanied by a duck. But of course, we have a chat, so we can go back and forth with ChatGPT and also refer to specific images when trying to refine them. Here we could, for example, say, I like the bottom left image, the third one, but there seems to be a human in the red coat. It should be a duck instead. Give me variations of that image that do use a duck in a red coat. Now, as you can tell, I got a couple of images which generally are related to that third image, though to be honest, they could be related to any of the above images, and the owl was again moved away from the Eiffel Tower. Here we also seem to have a human again. And that indeed is a limitation or a problem ChatGPT with DALL-E 3 seems to have at the moment. If you have longer conversations and you're trying to refer to images, that works to some extent, but it also tends to lose context or produce only partially correct results. Nonetheless, using follow-up messages and refining images throughout the entire chat can also work. I had both kinds of results, and therefore in the end it of course simply comes down to trying what works for you. And what I found is that it can sometimes be problematic if you include too many details into your prompt, especially if there are too many details about too many different subjects in the image. It might be fine to give ChatGPT a lot of details regarding the duck and the art style of the image, but as soon as I also add an owl to that image and I give ChatGPT some details about the placement of that owl, there seem to be too many subjects in the image with too many details, and at least in my experience, that can lead to worse results. As you can tell here, we got totally different styles here, and therefore my recommendation right now is to typically focus on one or two main subjects or topics of an image and share a lot of information about those to ChatGPT, but to not include too many different subjects or topics into your prompt.